Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, my name is Ria, and in this space I love to talk about and reflect on mental health, well-being and physical health as well, and just taking care of ourselves inside out. So if you feel like this video resonates and there's something which hopefully sticks or you'd like to try, I'd really love for you to stay around and subscribe. So thank you so much for being here. So today's video is something which I just want to reflect on. Like, is there big things that we need to be doing, small things? I think it's just something which I've realized, habits that are a little bit more quiet, gentle, nurturing, supportive actually have made such a huge difference in my day-to-day life and living. And just to caveat, I don't have any kids, so I feel like I have thankfully have that time. But even if you are busy and you've got a lot going on, I hope that some of these habits could help, especially if you've only got 5 minutes to yourself. So this video is definitely not I did these and they will fix I always truly believe it's not something that you just fix, but these are things that I did to just help me feel a bit more grounded and have made an actual difference on my mental well-being. Because let me know how you feel too, but sometimes I feel like there's, when you have low energy, when you're feeling a bit disconnected, sometimes having a perfect routine is not always feasible. But I'll go into what I do in the morning in another video. But these things are definitely not for productivity, and this is definitely a low effort, realistic habit approach. So let's jump straight in, because these are things that I do when I maybe feel like I'm not feeling myself, or I haven't had time just to check in. And just to jump into the first kind of habit, a lot of the first few I want to share are body based. So daily movement, and this doesn't have to be at the gym, but every morning I'll stretch, and that to me has released any tension that's been stored in my body, whether it be overnight or throughout, in the early morning potentially. But it also improves my mood, I've noticed, without any pressure, essentially, because it's just a gentle way to start the day. And there's one of my really close friends who said to me that she started doing a routine where she does her stretches and she listens to soft jazz music playlist online. And I found that so wholesome, but also so simple but effective. If you don't already do something like that, I highly recommend it if you can, because even if it's 5 minutes before your meeting or 5 minutes at lunch, I think it makes a huge difference. So wherever you can do that. And I think even stretching but resetting, if you've been watching TV and you just know you're feeling a bit tight, it's so simple, but it just helps you feel a bit more present and just helps you reset your nervous system. And even if you've been scrolling for a while maybe on your phone, I think moving and reconnecting back to your body really, really helps. So that's kind of one perspective and suggestion. And another thing that I do is nervous system support and just checking in. And how I do this is breathing. So when I notice if things feel a bit back to back, or I'm just feeling a bit tight in my chest, simple 3 deep breaths, or box breathing if you've heard of it. It's breathing in for 4, holding in for 4, and releasing for 4. But I actually read somewhere, I think if you breathe out a little bit longer, it has a more relaxing effect. So slowing your exhale down essentially can genuinely make such a difference. So that habit, again, when I'm feeling a bit tense throughout the day, has really, really helped. And it also signals to your brain that yes, things might feel busy and overwhelming at the moment, but you are safe, and it will then reduce subtly that anxiousness. And I notice it as well, because I know if things feel there's a lot at the moment, just simply checking in and knowing that I don't need to feel in that state or energy the whole time, the whole day. I can refresh and reset a little bit and don't need to hold on to that. And I think that genuinely really helps. And I also feel similarly to breathing, just having a bit of a pause. I know this sounds really funny and simple, but sometimes what I do is, if I've been inside all morning, I'll literally go outside in my garden and just walk around a bit and just take a few deep breaths. Like, I know it sounds so simple, but it's like giving yourself a moment, like when you feel like things feel like, oh, there's just maybe a lot going on. And why this is really good, because it doesn't like build and build and build on maybe sort of like stress that's throughout the day. And we need to be so mindful of this because we have like micro stresses nowadays, right? So yeah, the more we can do that, kind of will allow us to prevent like any more emotional tension or like tension build up throughout the day. So yeah, that was sort of another kind of bucket. The next bucket I wanted to talk about with you is environment and lifestyle sort of approaches. So this to me is, again, I know I'd mentioned me going outside and just like taking some fresh air in. It's so simple but so effective, so definitely that. But light is the one that I really want to talk to. What I've done recently when I wake up every morning now is, after I do like a meditation in bed, I open my curtains and like let the sun in. And before, like, this old me would have been like, it's so bright, it's too bright. But now I'm like, I love this because it instantly just awakens you and refreshes you and like helps your circadian rhythm, you know, like set into flow essentially, and also helps with your, I guess when you have that light exposure and you're allowing yourself, if it's a great day outside or even if it's not, just it's really important for us as just humans because we need to have that light. Like being in dark can like constantly, I know it's easier said than done when we're in like winter, right? But now in spring into summer, how can you make light a bit more of your like in your routine and getting out? I think is so important. And another thing is like, it's such simple habits that I do, but like without going again to my morning routine too much, like I'll do my journaling, but what I do is like, it's so simple, but like making your bed. Like, I know there's like this study or something, I know everyone probably knows about this, but it's like, you know, if you make your bed, like you just feel more put together for the day. But what I do, like another habit, is just like having things prepped before and just making sure that like if I know I want to go to the gym, it's such a simple habit that helps me. Like obviously going to the gym or moving will help my mental health, but making decision fatigue less in the morning I think is so key. So yeah, prepping what you need, putting your shoes out, like maybe having that quick breakfast, or that sort of drink, like not prepped but like easily accessible, those sort of things. I think how can you make like these little things, because again it gives you that sense of a bit of control but also calm, because you're reducing the amount of things that you have to do, especially so early in the morning, right? So yeah, I really feel that that's important. And the next bucket that I really wanted to share with you is about more your emotional habits, but also like mental habits, like what we can actually do. And I think, I don't know about you, but there's sometimes where I feel like there's been great days and, you know, I've done all the things I wanted to do, but there's some days where I'm feeling like the bar needs to be lowered a little bit. There could be many reasons for this. Again, like a really busy day at work, you're tired from the weekend, like your responsibilities, maybe if you have a family, like it's okay to have days where you're not doing everything and ticking every box or like doing every task or action. Like it's not something that, I know that there's this productivity energy which obviously is being like reflected on, right? But your productivity does not equal your worth. And I think just remembering that you can have days where if you just literally shower and maybe stand outside or like make a meal and that's it, or obviously work, but like that's it, like it's fine. And you know, there's other things contributing to this, especially as women. Like your cycle is a huge impact, which I'd love to go into more detail because I've learned so much about my cycle and how it impacts and how I'm feeling and my energy levels. But essentially, yeah, when you lower the bar, or you know you don't have to be feeling 100% like battery full all the time, like it just reduces any pressure and like burnout cycles essentially. So just I hope that helps. And sort of another thing that I really wanted to remind you, or just like a habit that really helps, is talking kindly to yourself. If you know that you're feeling a bit rubbish, instead of like, or having a bit of a slow day, instead of being like, oh, like I should be doing this, or I'm so lazy. Like obviously there's a difference if it's like a bit more consistently, like, you know, you're maybe not able to do or not doing the things that you know you need to do, obviously like based on your circumstances. But if like it's just, you know that this day will help you, but your mind is like, no, you're not doing what you should be doing. Like, how can you just be kind to yourself and remind yourself that how you would speak to a friend or loved one, it's okay to have quiet days. It's okay to take it slow, because you're filling your cup again. Like, I know that's a used phrase so much, but it's so true. Like, how can you give from an empty cup? Or how can you feel your best if you're not filling you up? And I think that is such an important thing, because that inner dialogue can be harsh sometimes. And just, remembering that even if you have like responsibilities like kids, etc., like having 5 minutes for you, or needing to like slow down a little bit, like if you've got some support around you at the time, like it will only help you. And I know like it's easier said than done, of course, but just like a gentle reminder that it's okay to have slow days and not get everything done. And I think the sort of last few things maybe in that area about like mental and like emotional, which obviously is impacting your physical as well with like body connection and so on, but soft joy, I think this really hits home, because as I've gotten older again, like I know that things that are simple have so much joy in them. Like, let me know how you feel about this, but for me, like even if I go for a walk and I take my headphones out and I listen to the trees like rustling like in the wind, it's so lovely. Even today, like I can hear the trees like just gently rustling, and that, I don't know what it is, again it connects you back to nature, but like that is so nourishing and so special, and it's soft, and it's not something that has to be built up to or created. It's just there and natural. I think how we can connect to those things is really important. Even like that connection piece too, like if it's just messaging a friend that you've wanted to check in on for a while, or even if it's watching a comforting show, like there's, being honest, like there's times where you might binge watch things, and that's perfectly normal and it's okay, but being aware that like it, if you're over binge watching, that's something to think about. But like if it's like, if you just need an afternoon just to watch your favorite show and it will just help you zone out a little bit, like it's okay. Like it's just a reminder that everything isn't always about productivity. Sometimes when we're in the quiet, things can come to us that we didn't know, because our mind was so busy and like stressed in that like productivity energy, if that makes sense. So I really hope that like helps. And just to kind of to summarize and just like reflect on like the last key bits, I think I just wanted to share that like these things sometimes they might feel pointless, and the world like society might, well, we're told, aren't we, that things are meant to be big and meaningful, but it's actually the little things that are soft and gentle sometimes that can have like such profound impact on how you feel and your mental health and well-being. And these things, what I've said to you, like especially like movement, like stretching, so simple but so good for you, and becomes a part of your routine if it's 5 minutes. It has helped me so much more than I expected, because especially as women, like we carry tension more too, like around our hips, for example. So stretching around that area, like if you're storing energy there, like if you're stretching around your hips and like lower body, that actually will connect back to your mental health and well-being, because you're releasing tension. And I know, so simple but genuinely so effective. So I think, just to like caveat to you, these things, obviously they're not going to cure like big things, but they're very, I think, small but important and impactful things that we can implement. And if you're feeling there's a lot going on or overwhelmed, like if you pick one thing from here maybe and you try it and see how you feel, like you don't need to do all of these things. Like, I really want to like mention that, like if you do one or two of these and you notice a shift in how you feel and how connected you feel back to yourself, that is a win in itself too. So those are the key things. Just a few other ideas that you might be able to think about is definitely limiting social media in the morning. I think is a really good one to think about. And also, like, hydration. It's a simple habit, but it's very important. These are like little bonus ones that I'm thinking about now. And also like just sitting in silence, like not having stimulus around you, like having 5 minutes just to be and exist, I think is so important without noise. I think if we're constantly consuming content or like, you know, things that are being fed, podcasts or social media and stuff, but like if you can actually just sit with you and just relax, I think that is such an important thing. And like another couple, like one actually which I think is more profound, is doing something but like intentionally, like whether that's cooking your dinner, not like, you know, having like a podcast on in the background, maybe music. Like music is, you know, can affect our energy and mood so much, but you don't have to like pay attention all the time, right? It's like gentle background noise. I think doing things intentionally and slowly, like, you know, maybe contrast to what we're taught to like do things quickly and efficiently, but doing things slowly and calmly can again make you feel more connected and like support your mental well-being too. So yeah, I really hope that these have helped, and thank you so much for being here. And yeah, let me know if you've tried one of these things, or if you've got any other tips or suggestions for like more quiet, calm, gentle habits that have made a huge or profound impact. And even if they haven't been huge or profound, but you know, like if you just noticed something, I think that is really key, and just a nice reminder, especially now as we head into spring, summer. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, if this resonated, I really love for you to stick around and join me for more videos like this and other kind of topics too that I really want to reflect on with you. So yeah, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care. Bye.